People's in the back. All right, Black Box Radio. Listen, guys, we apologize. I'm telling you, technology is your friend until it's not. Let's be clear. So we had some little technical difficulties, but listen, we ate strong already. Listen, hello everybody. I'm so glad everybody's here. Thank you guys for waiting for us. We're here. We had some issues, but listen, issues never stop us. We're here. So listen, welcome to Black Box Radio. We are a multimedia platform illustrating Black excellence. We platform Black people, we expose Black genius, and we definitely disseminate information to the community and to all communities. But this is the BlaKWomen History Month series. This is Black women on stage, on platform. We talking to Black women. You see that Black woman sitting over there? We about to talk to her. We really about to talk to her. We about to get in. But I just wanted you guys to feel welcome in the box. Please like, share, subscribe. Again, like, share, subscribe to our YouTube channel. I am on death row right now. I won't be home for another 7 days. I'm in jail. Facebook jail. I'm in jail, guys. I stay in jail, and I don't even know why. They just say community standards, but people have a problem when you love Black people. That's just all I can sum it up to. So YouTube is a very free platform. So please like, share, subscribe, and definitely subscribe to our YouTube. We got content coming out continuously. We are Black centered. We do this 6 to 8 times a month. We have an email. You can check us out at blackboxradio@gmail.com. Leave us a message. But also we have a beautiful website at blackboxradio.com. Subscribe to that also. Please stay in touch. Like, share, subscribe, because we got to get in the algorithm. The algorithm is very, we won't say whitewash. It's not Black presenting. So we got to black it up. We got to box up the algorithm. So please share this with your family and just make us great. I appreciate it, and we appreciate you. So tonight, we got all the business done. It's Women History Month at that. But out here, we do Black women, Black people. We stay Black. So we got Black women. We had 5 Black women, guys. 5. And this is our last. 6 of 6. You know the old adage, you save the best to last. You got to say the best to last. We got Sista Tracy. Say hi to the people.
Hey, everybody. Peace, peace, peace. Thank you for being here. Thanks for your patience. And thank you for this opportunity, Queen.
You're so welcome. And so tell the folks where you at so they can get the disclaimer. Just talk to the people.
So the disclaimer is I've had a Murphy vlog kind of day here at the shop. So you're going to hear all the background of the shop. You're going to hear some conversation, some music. You may even hear some children running through the shop because it's the week of Easter and everybody's trying to come and get their hair done. Mm-hmm. And I still have a who hasn't been picked up yet, but I'm here and I'm excited to be here. So thank you guys.
This is how real we are. We're in the shop, so this is shop talk. I was gonna say Sister Circle, but this is Sister Shop Talk. And so we're gonna go in tonight. So Sister Tracy, I really you are like the culmination of this series, the business part, but you're more than business. You're a multi-layered being, and we're gonna throw some of that on the table today. But I really wanted to have you here, and you're like the calming presence. We had Amashonda at the beginning, and she opened the box, and now you're gonna close it down because you're gonna close the series. So we appreciate you being here. But more than anything, we want to hear a little bit about you. So tell us where you're from. Are you from Baltimore? They rep schools in Baltimore. They don't rep colleges. They still in the school game. So tell us where you're from, and let's talk about you a little before we jump in.
Okay, so most of you guys know me as Sista Tracy, but my Muslim name is Salima. I was blessed to be given that name by Minister Farrakhan almost 2 years ago now. So my name is Salima Tracy. So now I just tag it Salima Tracy because everybody just knows me as Sista Tracy. But I was born and raised here in Baltimore, Maryland. The only traveling that I've done outside of living here in Baltimore, Maryland, is the traveling that I've done as being a Muslim and traveling with security for the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and being in the Nation of Islam. That's where I got my traveling feet, traveling crisscrossing this country as he spoke to Black people and people in general who needed life and upliftment and respect for life training and teaching. I'm a lover. I'm a mom. I'm a grandmom. I'm a writer. I'm a closet singer. I'm a social anthropologist, a social entrepreneur. I'm a natural hairstylist. I'm a lover of people. I'm a connector of bonds. My sisters like to call me a Pollyanna because I like to find a rhyme for a reason, and I'm always trying to figure out why people did what they did and give them so much rope. And they like, nah, they need to be strangled with the rope. Um, but I'm just a organic love bug, a clown at times, born and raised here. Uh, the school that I would have repped would have been Weston High School. However, I became pregnant as a teenager at 15, and back then they had us all going to a school called Paquin for
Paquin.
pregnant
Yes.
women and for pregnant teens. So once I left Paquin, Weston wouldn't take me back. They felt like the education at Paquin wasn't going to be suitable enough to keep up with the rigor of Weston High School. So I ended up having to like go to my zone school, but I went there kicking and screaming, going to my zone school. So I
Wow.
had my mother taking money that we didn't have to send me to this Christian academy. That in my senior year, I realized we found out once I started applying for college that it wasn't even accredited. So all the money my grandmother spent for that whole year, sacrificing our social security check and all of that to go to that Christian academy, it didn't amount to anything.
Oh,
So
wow.
I ultimately still ended up having to go to my zone school, which was Southwestern High School, and I ended up loving it. I was there for the last 6 months of my senior year,
Wow.
and I had to grind it out because I had to make up for all the time that I spent at Christian Academy. So I took classes during my lunch break. I went to Saturday school at Harbor City at that time, and then I took full classes at Southwestern, but I graduated with honors, and I wouldn't change it for anything.
What a story. What a story. And full disclosure, like Paquin is now closed, but that was that president, she was special. The
She,
principal, she was a special lady.
she
Um,
was.
she
The
was. And
program was awesome. Like
yes.
it was the perfect place for a pregnant young person. Like they taught us how to care for our children. They taught us about money management, how to
Mhm.
care for the household, how to care for your baby, um, how to like be in school and be educated and not use your child as an excuse for why you couldn't achieve your dreams. Like she didn't play that. She did not allow us to use, oh, I'm a teen mom now, so I can't do anything. Nope. She used that as our like launching pad. You're a teen mom. So you have to do more because you're a teen mom. You have to break the step because you're a teen mom. Like that was probably one of the best experiences I could have ever had.
Wow, that's amazing because in all actuality, we have a lot of teen pregnancy now, and I don't know if that's happening. And I think that she was a pre-thinker. That is, I mean, she was next level. So that was a beautiful school, for teens in Baltimore, and it's now closed, and that's unfortunate. But I remember Paquin. I remember the principal. She was highly talented in Baltimore. So that's a great story. Wow, you did a lot to graduate. So
I did.
I'm gonna give you a
Although,
big up for that.
yeah, I was like, I'm not gonna go to Southwestern and be left behind another year. Absolutely not. No, no, no. I had to stand up and represent for my Western Foundation. Like, oh no. Mm-mm.
I hear that. So you was a dove, but then you was a
Until they
dove.
clip
I love
my
it.
wings. They clipped my wings in my junior year, Queen. I'm still salty about that.
I know,
I'm a
I hear it.
yeah.
I hear it because
Those
people who are now
wings,
in Baltimore, they don't know how important this high school thing is. They don't
yeah,
even get it.
they don't get it.
They don't even
They,
get it. High schools in Baltimore are king and queen. I
yes,
promise
it is.
you that.
Yes.
So we got a lot of people on. I gotta give some shout outs to my audience before we move it. We got TJ, we got the Own Your Dopeness podcast. What's up, sis? Whoever that is, that's amazing. Haywood
I
E
eat.
and Trish W and Miss Monica Williams. I had Monica, I think, in my last Monica. Shout out to Monica Williams and then Brianna
That's
Sade. Huh?
Monica is my cousin.
Is she? Yeah, I had Monica, I think last year. Yeah,
You
shout out
did?
to Monica. Brianna Sade, hey, and Rashawn Houston, hey. We got the Bean Queen, Eula, Mama Eula. So it's good to have everyone on, and this showcase is it. So since it's the end, everybody's coming in to look at you, Sister Tracy, because you're the woman right now. You are definitely a woman. So
Family.
first of all, we want to talk about Ramadan. I want to say peace to you and thank you for being here and because I know you will break your fast during this broadcast. So thank you so much for sitting with me. And I said to you before we started, I said, if my fast was broken, I'd be mad as heck if I couldn't eat immediately. And what did you say? I want the people to hear that.
I said, no, you would not, because Ramadan is such a beautiful month. You look forward to being able to challenge yourself. It's more than just abstaining from food and drink and things that are natural. Like, it's your battle with yourself. It's your personal rumble with yourself. We get up, we eat or drink for those who choose to eat or drink, before the morning prayer, which is before sunrise. And then we don't break the fast until after sunset. So like today, the sun sets around 7:29, which is like now.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful time. You're doing the exact same thing with billions of people across the globe who are not only just abstaining from food and drink and sexual relations and arguing and fighting and all of that stuff. Like that's base level. That's level one of what the fast is. But the intention of the fast is for us to grow closer to God, for us to be able to see ourselves. If we can't abstain from things that are natural, like water, food, sexual relations, lawful sexual relations with our partners, then surely we wouldn't be able to abstain from drugs and smoking and doing anything that would be damaging to self. So during this month, it's like an exciting time. You look forward to it. You're like, you have your billions of cheerleaders that are around. You break your fast in community with people. And for those who are sick or on their menstrual cycle or nursing or on a journey or a pilgrimage, they're exempt from the fast of this part. And so they get to do other things like feed the homeless, feed the hungry. Go read to somebody who's illiterate who can't read. You do extreme exercise. You see extreme generosity during this month because we're grateful. Like we're fasting all of this time by choice. You to know that it's a choice, but there are billions of people around the world who don't have a choice. They're fasting because they don't have anything. So it forces you to become grateful for the gift, even as much as a sip of water.
Yes.
Clean
water.
fruit that isn't somebody's GMO fruit, or haven't been you rummage through the dumpster or whatever. Like it just makes you feel so grateful. So I can break my fast now. So I'm gonna just take a sip of water. But
please, you do that. You do that. Listen, what you just said was, I feel inspired just for what you said. I think it's very important that things that we believe in, that we sacrifice for first. And second of all, getting closer to God is definitely a disciplinarian movement because, God is disciplined to a point. And so to hear what you're saying is amazing because first thing people say, oh, I got to give up that plate. I'm going to be hungry, but that's probably the last thing in your mind because you're living service. It's like, this is a service. I love that.
Like I know, like maybe the first day or whatever, it's mental. It's mental, Queen. Like if you're thinking, I'm gonna be hungry all day, guess what? You can be hungry
all day.
Yeah. If you thinking, man, I'm about to rock this fast out. Okay, let me get up 15 minutes early so I can drink some water so I won't be thirsty all day or whatever the case. Because for me, many people eat sahur. Sahur is the breakfast that you eat before the fast starts.
Okay.
But for me, if I eat sahur, it makes me hungry. So I don't. Like, and the only time I would eat sahur is if I had to take like my allergy medicine or something because I didn't want the medicine to like affect my stomach.
Sure.
But I just drink some water just so I can be replenished. And I talk all day. It's not like I'm dying.
You're working.
I'm working.
Yeah.
It's not like it's so exciting to know that you get to rock and roll in this fragile thing called life by doing something that disciplines you. Like my spirit is on 10. Like my skin is glowing a lot better. I think I shed about a few pounds, Queen. I can afford to lose a few pounds. I think I don't even desire all the junk that I normally would be desiring of if I wasn't, because by the time you break your fast, you don't want chips.
You want food.
You gonna get some water and a date, and then because you fasted, all the food that you think you're gonna eat, you really don't have an appetite for that much. Like you really get full off a little. You really do. Yeah. And also during this month, we read. Our goal is to read the entire Holy Quran within the month. So we read a part of the Quran every day. So if we read a part of the Quran every single day, by the end of the 29 to 30 day fast, we will have read entirely the whole Holy Quran. So it draws us in closer.
I love this. I grew up Christian, and as I said to you, Christians don't give up nothing except Lent. They might give up some chicken, or what I'm saying, for Lent, and I'm not negating
Yeah.
anyone's religion, attacking anyone's religion, but I just think that religion is a disciplined movement, and we should, should have a sacrifice. And I love what you're saying. It's almost like I'm inspired. I'm absolutely inspired, and it's very beautiful, and to do it amongst others. So
Yeah.
people all over the world is sharing this movement. That it shows solidarity. It's very beautiful.
And speaking of solidarity, like my Christian cousins, they did it with me last year.
Ah,
So they did at least 2 days. I think my one cousin Jamie, I think she did 3 days. But her son, who was 10 at the time, he thugged it out and did one full day. So you can do a day of solidarity with us, Queen.
I think I can. I sure can.
I know you can, and there's levels to it. Like I told them, like if you don't think that you can give up from sunrise to sunset, abstaining from like how we do the full fast of no water, no food, no arguing, no fighting, no
Right.
cursing, no sexual relations, no smoking, no drinking. If you can't do all of that,
Lord.
find the one thing that you love the most and sacrifice giving up that from
Thank you.
sunrise to sunset.
That
And
is
if you
beautiful.
can do that, we pray 5 times a day. Try to at least take 5 moments within your day to pray. Like before the sunrise, you can pray. At
Mm.
midday, you can do a prayer. At early afternoon, you can do a prayer. In the evening, right after sunset, you can do a prayer. Right before your bed, you can do a prayer. In the language in which you choose to communicate with God, because God should be our best friend. So you can do it in solidarity with us that way, praying 5 times a day.
I love this because really, when you hear Ramadan, I say Ramadan Mubarak when folks, and that's something that I extend to my Muslims, but I never knew what the actual sacrifice. So you've actually explained it to me, and actually, it's not even a sacrifice; it's a service. It's a beautiful thing. It's a connection. It links you to others. It links you to your religious freedom, the freedom of being closer to God. Whatever place is that, that's beautiful. You're praying 5 times a day.
And that's not even just in Ramadan. That's just a practice.
Mm.
Muslims, we're supposed to pray 5 times a day. So it's said that if we're doing the physical fast of like abstaining from the food and the drink and the water and the relations and the argument and all of that, but we're not praying, it's almost like what was the point of doing all of that? Because the praying is what gives us the divine connection to the Creator. So if we're abstaining from the physical parts that affect us physically, but we're not like joining ourselves to the Creator and dialing Him up to tap in and let that be our pause within the day, then what was the point of
What
fast?
is
Like
the
it
point?
congruently. Yeah.
Oh man,
So
I
you can
love it.
join
I love it. I'm not good. I can give up cursing. See, so
Yeah.
yeah, I can. I don't have to drop no bombs tomorrow. I'm gonna get myself together.
Yes, you can. And if you find yourself slipping up and cursing, pay yourself. Put some change in a jar for change. Because you don't need to curse, Queen. You have a very expansive vocabulary.
I know, but
Because,
sometimes, sis, they put you down in the dungeon. You gotta
yeah,
throw something on people. But you're right. That is definitely. And I'm with my mother now, so I have not. When your parents, you get yourself together.
right. You don't have to clown in front of your parents because that ass
You
that
get it
switch.
together.
You may have to go pull up a switch, Queen. Yeah, she's gonna send you out to the switch.
Yeah, so I don't want no problems with her. So I get it. I'm together. But yeah, Monica said I can do it. Yes, sweetheart. Listen, I'm gonna do it. I'm definitely gonna do it. And Brianna says very personal time for Muslims. That's the truth. And on your dopeness says, love this. You're teaching, sis. You are teaching. You're teaching me. So I really appreciate that because in this country, there's this thought about Muslims, and it has to be a fight with Christianity and Muslim. It shouldn't be. Everyone choose what they want to do, and it's okay. But if you're not Christian, then it's a problem. You get what I'm saying? So
the beautiful thing about how we grew up, I grew up in a household where my grandmother, she exposed us to everybody. Had the Jehovah's Witness come knock on the door, and they would come and study with us. The Eastern Stars, we would go to church. And when I went to the mosque for my first time as a 16-year-old with a 2-year-old son, she joined us coming to the church, to the mosque. My grandma opened, And she firmly believed, like the scripture in the Bible that says, in God's house there are many mansions. Like, it's only one creator.
That's it.
He goes many different names. And it's the devil that gives us all the punching bags and the gloves to fight one another over who God is.
That's true.
Like, like I don't have time to box with God. Like, if God is on the menu, I don't care how you serving it up. I'm gonna come and eat if God is on the menu. I'll come to your church. I'll come to your hall. I'll read your literature. I'll sing your hymns. I'll do it all. Like when people come in here, I give my clients the option. I said, what you want to hear, music or motivation? And if they say motivation, it's going to be a myriad of things that we're going to be in here listening to. You may hear Les Brown. You may hear Stephen Furtick. You may hear Michael Todd. You may hear Minister Farrakhan. You may hear Don Jones. You may hear T.D. Jakes. You're going to hear somebody in here. You may hear some gospel music playing in here. Like, God goes by many different names.
I love that. I love that. And everyone's journey and path is theirs. And you should be responsible to it and not defame someone else's. So listen, I say ashe to that, and you have inspired me. I'm going to do something tomorrow. I'm really going to look at this, like some sacrifice, and also extending myself to my spiritual being, because I'm really not Christianity to me has some issues. I have issues with the Black church. I think it's not as active as it should. This is not a religious conversation. I just want to say that I'm going to make some sacrifices during Ramadan because I love what you're saying. You've inspired me. That's what I'm saying.
That just means you're going to have to go to a church that's active, Queen.
Absolutely.
Because Baltimore, Reverend Heber Brown, his Pleasant Hope Church, like me and Maria would always say, if we weren't Muslim, we would be at Pleasant Hope.
I love his food network. I'm a vegan, so I love how he's moving vegetables around. I think he's very next level for a pastor, for sure.
But even before then, like I met him and we instantly became related. When I used to write for the Afro, and I used to cover the Faith in Action column. And I remember petitioning them saying, I don't want to keep writing about the church 100th anniversary or the hat contest or all of that. Like, I want to hear about the people who are actually in the trenches doing stuff, like really putting their faith in action. And at the time, the editor, she was just like, well, pitch your story and we'll see. Like, she was trying to give me a hard way to go. Because I guess they were used to that. Like, change is a difficult thing. But my first time meeting Reverend Heber, it was when a young brother had gotten killed. He was a part of the Algebra Project. And Reverend Heber was the only pastor out there. And he was not like shy or anything. He had his boots to the ground and his faith was in action, and he just continued. And we became connected ever since. Like Reverend Heber Brown and his fellowship and the people that he connected to, there are some very active Black churches around, Queen. You're just gonna have to find the ones that are actually out there doing social activism, because they do exist. Not every like they do exist.
I really appreciate that, because social activism is important. I just believe the church have to go to the corner to these young people. To expect for them to come in is going to be an issue. So we have to extend ourselves to them. So I really appreciate that, and I'm gonna make some moves for sure. Huh?
Do you know that you are the church though?
All day.
So you may have to be the one-man band.
That's true, and I extend myself to them. Yes.
Yeah. And be the Pied Piper and watch people come to you, because that's what Reverend Heber did. Yeah. That's what most movements are. They start with one person who's extremely passionate about the thing, and then other people start to follow them, because change is difficult and work is hard. And social work, which is social activism, like it's a painful thing because you don't get to have like the ribbon at the end. Like it's an ongoing, lifelong journey of work, and most people would rather not work because it's painful. You're not going to see the end result.
Yeah.
It's a continuous thing. So if that's your heart passion and your heart is postured for that, I say go out there and choose a day and be the church.
Look at you.
And watch people follow you, because you're not the only one. Most people are just afraid to start.
Bless you. I mean, listen, you are teaching today. Bless you. Oh my goodness. BlaKWomen History Month is getting blown out the box. Bless you for that. That wow. I also want to say, give some time for the tragedy that we've had in Baltimore with with the bridge. That is something that I definitely want to hold some space for the families of those construction workers. This Baltimore as a whole, this is a real tragedy, and it could have been worse. So thank God it was not. This is a bridge that's well traveled. And so we just want to hold space for those families and the folks who have lost their lives. As you have so eloquently inspired me today, I wanted to say that, Sister Tracy. Yeah, that's real important. What'd you say?
I said that was scary.
Very scary. Very scary.
Real, and just imagining, like, in the Holy Quran, it talks about us never saying that we will definitely do a thing. Like, you should always follow it up with God willing. Like, we're not the authors of our lives. We don't know if we're going to do anything, but if God wills us opportunity to do it, then we'll do it. Like,
that's so
I'm sure people thought they would make it home.
Of course, that shows you how tangible life is. It's like we take this thing for granted, like we got control, and there's no control. And you could just be doing something so innocent, and you're gone. So we have to be very intentional about our lives, about our paths, and because you never know when it expires. You just never know, unfortunately. And so we just want to have space for those families and those people who lost their lives in this tragedy. So let's move on. Let's smile a little because you have inspired. I mean, you got me reeling over here. I'm like, wow. So I appreciate that. So let's I want to talk because you got a lot of layers. You pastoring to me over here, and you said you were a writer. So let's talk about that. You wrote for the Afro? Okay. Can we talk about that? All right.
Yeah, I used to write for the Afro, so I already told you I was a teenage mom.
Yes.
So I took this long hiatus from school. So I ended up getting married at 20, got pregnant 4 months into my marriage, ended up stopping college because it was just too much. I stayed sick like all the time, and it was just too much. So I called myself taking a semester off. Well, that semester turned into another child 4 years later, and then a total of 10 years span of time before I went back to college. And so when I went back to college, I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew writing had to be it, because when I initially went to college, it was going to be engineering because I felt like it wasn't enough Black engineers out here, and I wanted to be one of them. But it wasn't really my passion. I love words. So it would have been a toss between hair and words, but everybody was like, no, you don't want to do hair. You need to do something great. So words it was. And so I took up journalism at State University.
Where?
And Coppin State University.
Okay. I'm going to be quiet.
Were you a Morgan Bear? Because I went to
No, I'm a Morgan now. I graduated from Morgan. But listen, shout out to Coppin. Love Coppin too.
Love Coppin. Yeah, so I went to Morgan initially, and I did like 2 semesters at Morgan. And then I took that long hiatus. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
I took that long hiatus, and then I went to Coppin, and it was awesome. I met some amazing people who we are still friends to this day. Yeah. And I felt like I grew up at Coppin, even though I went back as a grown-up. I felt like I really grew up at Coppin. Like, I grew up. But yeah, I wrote for the Afro. I did an internship there, and then I started writing after college there. I did it for like almost 2 years. I covered the Faith in Action columns and then other little stories that they would send me on. And it was a good experience.
Why do you think they gave you the Faith in Action? Is it because of just your aura? Why do you think you got the Faith in Action?
You know what? I never asked, but it could have been my energy. I don't know.
So young, and they give you Faith in Action? Wow.
Yeah. So but I was remember I was a grown up.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying, but I think Faith in Action is a 60-year-old column. Still 50. You know what I'm saying? You were still a grown up.
People with the hats, and they were only covering the hats. Like, you really need some young people there, because in all movements, it's really the young people that get the movement moving. So you really need young people to really
people, yes.
Set in there, because as older people, you get set in your ways.
Yes.
Like, you need those younger people. Those are the ones who see differently. Like, older people, you become complacent.
Yeah, their vision is clear, and it's important that you have young people. You're right. So that's why I was wondering why they would give you the faith, but probably you flipped that column, Shorty.
And they probably didn't want to do it. Like they probably was like, let me just pass this over to this lady. Like, let her do this. Figure it out.
Figure it out. Figure it out. That's what's up. We got Rashawn said Morgan. That's right. Morgan State University. I am a B. I love it, Rashawn. Jamie says we are still waiting for our sunken treasure too. Look, I don't even know what he talk about. And Rashawn said, apply the pressure. Apply the pressure. So tell me what that means. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, Rashawn. Y'all gave me some content. Appreciate y'all.
So 1,000,000 years ago, I wrote a book.
Oh.
Called Sunken Treasure. A million years ago. And then life started lifing. Mm-hmm. And the joy of the book and the sequel that has been revamped like 1,000,000 different times. Like, yeah. So I wrote that book a million years ago, and the sequel has been being promised to come out 1,000,000 years.
Some people are waiting for it, sis. I think you got to drop that thing. You got.
I really do. I need to get out of my own way, Queen. I really do, because life is gonna always be life.
I'm telling you, if we put our dreams and what we want to do, anything we want to do with life, you'll never get it done, because life is a walk of adjustments, and you will continue to adjust, and things will continue to happen. And no one gives us a book on that, so we think, okay, we'll wait till this ends, and then something else is going to come. That's just what life does to us. So you got to listen. Jamie Williams, he said, or is it a she or he? Jamie, I don't want to.
That's my cousin.
Oh, cousin. Yeah. Sunken Treasure 2 is coming.
Yeah, she's gonna apply pressure. Yes, she is.
The book is so good. I burned my fish dinner reading some. He said it burned a dinner reading it. I love it. I love it. So you're a writer, a published author. Listen, you got some layers going on. Probably your mother. Oh my goodness. And so you know what? You've touched a lot of heads in Baltimore. So that's one of the things that I know. And I really want to talk about that. Like, what is natural hair to you? What is this thing you're doing and you've been doing?
So I love hair. Like, I love it. Like, it is a natural gift. Some of my earliest stories is that I would plait anything. Like, as a 3-year-old, like, I'm plaiting any and everything. I would be at my grandma's house. I'm plaiting her beaded curtains, and you know how sacred the beaded curtains were.
Yeah, so she loved you.
Yeah, no, she ain't love me. She tore them fingers up. You learn not to plait the beaded curtains. So you start plaiting her long branches of her little plants and stuff. I would be plaiting her anything that could be plaited, I was plaiting.
You plaited the plants. You got a lot. You the woman.
Yeah, I used to love, because plants when they viney, like it was like enticing me. Like, come plant me. Like grass, anything that could be plaited, I was plaiting it. Like, I just
taught you just naturally knew how to plait.
I just naturally knew how to plait. Like, it was just something in me. Like, I don't know, I need to figure out who my ancestors were, because like designs and stuff that I thought that I would be creating. I remember when I used to work at Insa Roma, one of the mamas went to Africa and she came back with a book of the Fulani people, and it was like a book of their hair work. Yeah. And I was like, I created that hairstyle like 15 years ago. Like, no way. Like, I've never seen any of that work. And I said, maybe I'm a Fulani. Like,
it's that genetic. That thing is inside. Yeah.
Like, it's just in me. Like, it's just a natural gifting, which is a blessing.
Yeah.
It's a blessing and a curse at times.
Because it's a curse.
It's a curse because I love to do it. Like, it's hard for me to figure out how to monetize properly. And so I've come to a season where I'm realizing that I'm robbing myself, because I'm charging so much less for the services that I render, especially when I compare it to other people and what they do. Mm-hmm. And like, shop sisters and brothers, like, they all get on me. Even my clients get on me like, you're not charging enough. Well, they'll ask me what my price is, and then they'll tip me this crazy amount of tip, and I'll be like, you sent me too much money, or you left me too much money. They'll be like, no, I didn't. Like, they get on me about what I charge, and they're like, do you know what I had at my last place? Like, I that's the curse part of it, because I feel like I love it so much. I want everybody to be able to benefit from it.
Sure.
But I don't want people's pockets. in
Well,
order to
sometimes
do
you have monetizing your gift can be a challenge.
it. Yeah,
It could definitely be a challenge, but you have to understand that your gift was given to you to fill your cup.
yeah.
So please pour into your cup, and if someone does not want to pay for a beautiful service, then they can kick rocks.
You sound like Eula because that was her speech to me this morning when we talked. You, Sister Eula, and I talked this morning, the Bean Queen, and she was
Yeah.
like, "No, you don't need to charge that. You need to charge this." I was like, "Okay, let me pray about it. Let me pray about what this increase is gonna look like. I don't want to just jump up there with a number. I got to do a couple more prayers about it." So
Please say you gonna learn today.
learn today. I love when they boss me around. They love me enough to boss me around, and I
Yeah, I
love.
love that. Fran P said nope, she lowballs herself. Jamie said yes, she braided all of our hair as a children, and she was a child herself. So everybody's telling on you. You gotta do better.
They love me. They love
They love you.
me.
So you
I
just
love
had this natural love for hair, of course, which
me.
I'm hearing, and you
Mhm.
have a natural gift to do hair. So do you are you still taking clients, or how does that work? Are you just if within you work with who you have now, or can some because you see this little I got some natural stuff. You see these balls over here.
It's cute.
Can you braid these balls over here, Sister Tracy?
I wouldn't recommend it because it would be pulling out what you have. Like it would be total torture. You would need to let it grow some more. Like
You
I
can let it go some
wouldn't,
more. Okay.
it
Okay.
wouldn't be fair to you if I caused you to have bald spots
That's
because
true.
that's what you have. Someone would say, "Yeah, I'll do that. I can braid your hair." Like I've seen videos where people take someone with like hardly any hair and they wrapping it around and braiding.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
really want braids. I don't really want braids, but I definitely my hair is short. But definitely, are you looking for more people, or I mean, are you always bringing new people in, or are you just doing what you do?
So I operate off of word of mouth.
Mm,
So Queen, I do not like the hey, you can book yourself with me. Like it took me forever to get on Instagram, and I was peer pressured by my shop family to start an Instagram. Like I don't want to have a book CC. I don't want any. I don't want any of that. I don't want new people just jumping in. I need to feel your energy. I need
ooh,
to make sure it's a good energy exchange because not all money is good money. And like we have to be able to have a connection. Like I love doing hair, but say if your energy is off
hmm
and your spirit is off, it puts up a block for my creativity. Like I can't even function. I'm just gonna plow through your head just so I can be done with it, and then you're never gonna come back in my chair. Like
that's what I wanted to hear. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. So it has to be something more than cash.
oh, it is. It's please, my clients pour into me and I pour into them. And it's we reciprocal over here. Like my clients are not just my clients, like we're family. Like
Mm,
in here we can talk about any and everything. Like
I
any and every
love that.
we cry together, we laugh together, we talk trash to each other together, we set each other straight. Like they get on me all the time. Like I think you said Fran was in the chat. Like
Frank
Fran,
P.
yes. Fran is one of my dear sister friends, and she would get on me all the time. She reads me all the time
He
to the
said
point
facts.
that
Facts.
she does. And like, see me, I'm frugal. I'm frugal with my coins. And Fran came in here one day, and I had my fake. They were generic. What were they? Tricks? What like crisp or something? Crackers or something? And she was like, "No, ma'am. No, ma'am. You need to do better with them by yourself. You
Oh
over here
my God.
crackers. They taste better than the original kind to me." She was like, "No, man, you just being cheap." And I was like, "Well, I am being cheap, but they honestly do taste better. Like, why
Oh
am I
my God.
for a box of crackers when I can get a box of crackers for $2? Like, come on now. I'm going to spend these coins wisely." But like,
Fran
she
P,
gets.
we gotta work on her, sis. We gotta work on her. She's special. She is special. She said they
I'm
were
so
wheat thins. Fran said,
yes, the wheat thins. Yes, the wheat thins. And the little generic ones tasted better than those wheat thins. I was like, "Friend, I don't need those wheat thins. Like they're not all that they're cracked up to be." But
mm,
yeah, they all love me enough to get on me, tell me to take a break. One of my clients, she brought me all these fancy compression socks, like all designer too. Came in here, she's
stand
like,
up.
"No,
Yeah.
I know you don't celebrate Christmas, so this is after Christmas and Kwanzaa. And she came in like a couple weeks later with her gift box. I got these for you because you be on your feet too long. And I was like, oh, I love them. Like designer compression socks. Like they love me. They bring me plants because they know I love plants. So they bring me cuttings of their plants.
I
And I have
see.
plants in here, my snake plant, my monstera, my
Do you
aloe.
braid them?
No, I don't
No,
braid
you
them.
don't braid your baby. You don't braid your baby. See.
Yes, no, because see, I've grown. Now I have hair to braid. See, they should have brought me some dolls back then, Queen. Like, I'm going to blame it on them. I
Yeah, they
should have had,
should have bought you some dogs. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
or they should have gave me some yarn or something and made a fake doll or something. They should have been,
yeah. They
yeah,
should have gave you something to braid. You're right. You're right. You're right. You
yeah,
was a young baby.
I'm not going to take the blame. I was 3 years old. I'm not going to take the blame for that.
Oh my
God gave me
goodness.
a gift. He gave me a gift. What am I going to deny God's gift to me as a kid? No.
That's so true. That's so true. I mean, the people are commenting. It is so funny. Rashawn and Jeffrey Brandon loved this. Very proud of Sister Tracy.
That's my
Uh,
son.
Carla Kemp, my location and friend, is such an amazing person. Sister Tracy, the wisdom at your young age is truly remarkable. Thanks for being an inspiring beacon of light, hope, and strength for so many. Beautiful.
Carla.
Nakaya Muhammad, Sister Tracy is absolute the best. They love you, sis. Oh my goodness.
Love me. Y'all got me blessed here.
But you know what? Love is extended by love. And so that's what I want to say. Like energy is that you bring love. And so definitely people feel it and they bring it back. And that's what we have to do as a people. And I love that I say all the time, the world doesn't deserve Black women.
Yeah.
They really don't, because what we bring to the world is so existential. No one wants to say it's us, but it is us. And I am a Black woman, but truly Black women are special.
Yeah.
And I think that the love that we bring to the circle definitely is the connection. And I love it. And I see these people that chiming in. They love you. They love you.
They love me to life, Queen. They do, and I feel it. Like that's why I was so like shy about like sharing it because I get so nervous. My sister Aisha, she was like, "You're gonna be so great," and I was like, "Girl, I'm so daggone nervous. I don't know how." The Own Your Dopeness podcast, she used to do it for like a whole year and a half, and I was like, "I don't know how you did this all the time. I'm so daggone nervous." I told her nothing was off limits. Everything could be on the table. She can ask me anything. Like I'm so nervous, and she was like, "You're gonna be fine." And I was like, "All right, let me go make a prayer before this podcast starts." And it was like once all the dominoes of things started happening, okay, Allah, this is the test. Okay.
It's easy. Listen, when a person, you got real connection with the person, it's so easy. You know, it's so easy. College, she said, absolutely love you, sis. So you must be sad and you must have did your thing on her podcast. So she loved it. But yeah, you're perfect, and I got you. You definitely got to be nervous with me. I definitely got you. So life. So you're practicing Muslim and your lifestyle. Does that hinder anything that you do, or is it something that escalates what you do? Because I would like to hear that.
So it does not hinder anything that I do. But I will have a transparent moment. So I told you earlier that we pray 5 times a day, right? Mm-hmm. So in the shop, like it's busy in here. And I had been battling with myself, like, okay, I need to get better because if like we're supposed to pray 5 times a day, and if until I get home to make my official prayer, then it's like I'm stacking my prayers. And if I'm stacking my prayers all together, it's like I'm distracted in my prayers. So I'm not getting the full benefit out of my prayers. So I had been in deep prayer and thought like I really need to make my prayers. So like on Mondays, it's generally just me here. I could make all my Salat prayers and wouldn't have a care in the world. But when the shop was full, I would be like shy to break out my prayer rug and pray. And I had been praying, and then I had a new client, and she came in here one day and the prayer alarm went off. And she said, "Excuse me," like in the middle of her hair appointment. You mind? I need to go make my prayer. And this was literally like 2 or 3 days after I had prayed, like asking God to like give me the strength to be able to pray. Wow. And I was like, sure. So she went to the bathroom, did her wudu, which is the washing that we do to refresh for prayer. She came with paper towels, and she was about to make prayer on my floor with paper towels. And I said, "Oh, hold on, sis, I have a prayer rug." So I went in my drawer, I pulled my prayer rug out and my pillows, and I laid it out for her. And I watched her make prayer in my space at the shop. with no fear. And here I was afraid to make prayer in my shop.
Yeah.
And it was like it convicted my spirit so much so. So I didn't. I watched her make her prayer, and then I went home that day and I prayed at home. And I was like, oh, Allah, please give me the strength to be brave like her. And
Mm.
so talking to her, she said, oh, when I went to Jerusalem, she said, oh, the paper towels would have been fine. When I went to Jerusalem 5 years ago, we were praying on the concrete and it was rocks and stones. And she said, we had nothing. And I was like, in my mind, like, whoa, I need my pillows because the way my knees are set up. But like she was willing to just be about it with her prayers because she
Yeah.
knew she needed that time for her creator. So the next day, one of my other Muslim sisters came in and I was telling her about the experience. And I was like, girl, I was like, yesterday, I said, one of the Muslim sisters came in. I said, and when the prayer alarm went off, I was like, she prayed. I said, I need to get like that. And she was like, we're going to get like that today. And I was like, huh? 5 minutes later, the prayer alarm went off. She was like, girl, you got curtains around here. Just put a curtain up to the doorway. And I was like, about to make an excuse. And she was like, nope, we're not accepting any excuses. We're going to pray in here today. And it did something to my spirit, something so, it enveloped my whole being. Like
Mm.
my prayers in a very practical way by sending me an example in someone who was here with me for her very first time getting her hair done. And then with another Muslim sister who I love and know as well, who was like, nope, we gonna make that prayer. And I've been doing it ever since. Like I'll pause in between my clients, be like, hey, I need to pray. And now to the point where like I have a curtain up at my doorway. So when I drop the curtain, they know
You
Sister
praying.
Tracy being there praying. Yeah. And they'll turn the music down. Like it just does something to my spirit. It just gives me an opportunity. It's like taking an espresso or a Red Bull when you know your energy is down.
Wow.
Prayer is like Red Bull. It gets your energy going. It gives you an opportunity to declutter and get back on the square. So I would say
It's
this was the
escalated then. No hindrance. It's an escalation of life.
it actually it forces me to be a better person. Like all my life, most people have known me as Sister Tracy. When I went to college, Sister Tracy. Like sister has been. What's your first name, sister? What's
Yeah.
your second name, Tracy? Why you go by Sister Tracy? Because when I say I'm sister, it reminds me that I don't just belong to me. I
Mm.
belong to all of us. So it holds me accountable to all of us. And I can't just think as an individual because I'm sister. So if I'm your sister, then I have to act accordingly as your sister. And if I'm your sister, that means you're my sister, you're my brother, and those are my nieces and nephews. And so I have to act accordingly. So it's actually enhanced my life. Uh, it's given me a better respect for life
Mm-hmm.
because I shudder to think of where my life would be had I not um, taken a bite off of this Islamic tree. Like I became a Muslim, I started bending my ear to Islam as a 16-year-old with a 2-month-old son.
Hmm.
Now I started coming out and just listening for myself as a 16-year-old with a 2-month-old son. And I didn't commit fully until I was 17. But I was a young mom and all the foundational things and spirituality that my grandmother planted inside of us, it bloomed once I became a Muslim because it was connected to the discipline. And it helped me to grow closer to God because there was a discipline factor
Mm-hmm.
connected to me that I did not just belong to myself. I can't just do whatever I want to do because my actions don't just affect me, they affect everybody around me, everybody connected to me. So I couldn't just wander aimlessly with this fragile thing called life. I had to own it. I had to take stock in it. I had to live it while I'm still breathing and able to. It gave me a greater appreciation for life. It gave me a greater understanding for life. Um, it gave me a better respect for life. So I would say the faith walk um, has enhanced me. It
It's
hasn't hindered.
escalated. Yes, it's escalated your life. And that's exactly what I wanted to hear. Because, sometimes people make excuses for the things that they love or the things that they're a part of or what it's just a part. But you're not. You're saying the escalation and what it's done for you. And
Yeah.
usually when someone comes on this and they say sister or brother, I tell them, can I get your whole name? I never said that with you because I really feel that you're Sister Tracy. I could not even think to put anything else, because most of them be like, listen, what's your name? but
Right.
but Sister Tracy, you embody that, and now it's Sister Salima. I gotta get it right. It's Sister Salima. I'm on the Sister Tracy. I'm dead wrong. It's actually Sister Salima.
But you're not dead wrong. I'm still learning it too. Like when my husband and I were both gifted the names, when a minister gave us those names, like it was so humbling. I expected my husband to get a name because of all the work that he does in the city.
Hmm.
But when the minister called him back and said, "Hey, you can't be who you are," my husband was gifted the name Abdul Salam. He was formerly Minister Carlos.
Minister Carlos, yes.
Yeah. So Minister Farrakhan gave him the name Abdul Salam, which
Hmm.
means the servant of peace. And he said, "Well, I can't give you a name because you wouldn't be able to be that without your wife. So I want to give her the name Salima, which means peaceful, sound, healthy."
That's you.
Yeah, and but it was so humbling. Like I almost choked
Wow.
when he said that to me. Because for me, um, I'm learning that I'm a perfectionist. And I guess I've always known that, like, it's hard for me to navigate in the gray. So if you tell me I've done a million things great, in my mind, I'm calculating all the 500 things that I didn't do so great.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so to be given that name, like, it still gets me emotional now. That's why I don't mind when people call me Tracy anymore. Like, because that's still who I am. And it's like I'm growing into being Sister Salima. But I'm still Sister Tracy too. I haven't arrived there yet.
Hmm.
Like every day I'm praying for peace. Like I'm praying for patience. I'm praying for wholeness. I'm praying to be light. I'm praying to be sound. Like those are my consistent, constant prayers. Like this world is so dark and so heavy that I'm constantly praying to
Yes.
be peace and to connect to other people who are peace and who are peaceful so that their peace can rub off on me. And that if they having a rough time, my peace can rub off on them. Um, but it's a journey. So you're
See,
not wrong for calling me Tracy, but that's still me too. But
that's you too.
yeah, Sister Salima.
That's beautiful. Dres the Barber said, if Sister Salima isn't one of the greatest role models on this earth, I don't care what it is. That's beautiful.
Um,
Yeah, that's so nice. And Ria Idris said, you are Salima, honey. You got that right name. Own it. And I
that's
get
my
that. Yeah, I mean, and what it means is you. I mean, it's just oh wow, and that's why names are powerful, and they should mean something. And so I just love what you just said, and I just feel so good right now. You got me glowing over here. Oh, Jesus, I love
um,
it. Yeah, I'm telling you. So listen,
um,
you said something I always want to talk about. It. You are the wife of a very known figure in Baltimore, a beautiful man in our community. How, as a Black woman, how is that? How being a wife to a man that is a servant of the community of his people? How does that work?
you have how much time you got, Queen? Let me take a sip.
I know that's a loaded question, but it takes a beautiful woman to allow and be a part of a man's life that is as busy as he is and as pulled away as he is. How do you do it?
So we got married at 20,
Whoa.
and he became the minister of our mosque at 21.
Ha.
Right. 4 months into our marriage, I became pregnant with our daughter, and it's been a roller coaster ever since. So this life is all we know. Like being a beacon of light in the community for our people, that's all we know. Um,
Mm.
a soldier when we got married, and I continued to be a soldier while we were married. But was it hard? Yes. Is it hard? Yes. It's a lot of sacrifice that goes into it. Is
Mm.
it worth? Yes. You have to have friends to your marriage, and you have to have a connection. Because a lot of times we make our husbands or our children or our careers, we make all those things gods, and they're not. And so to get so wrapped up in my husband to the point where I make him a god besides God is like making him an idol. So the
Mm.
best thing to do is support from the background, like make sure that the children were good, make sure that the home front is good. as best as I could. Was I perfect? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Um, was I trying my best? Sometimes. And other times I didn't want to try at all because that perfectionism thing gets in the way. But
Yeah.
was I genuine? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you have your roller coaster rides. But at the end of the day, I focus on the prize, and the end game is, are we gonna be beacons of light in the darkness for our people? And sometimes you have to sacrifice your own self in order to do that. And
Woo.
we're no better than anybody else in doing that. It comes with a lot of sacrifice. Like my children are on this line. They missed a lot of moments with dad. But in missing a lot of moments with dad, I was there, and I
Yeah.
was able to be there. Um, were we proud of all the things that he did? Yeah, we were very proud of all the things that he did and continue to do. But it comes with a lot of sacrifice.
It
And
does.
the older I get, the more I realize like the blessing in those sacrifices. Like they weren't in vain. I've learned so much about myself in those sacrifices. I learned so much about my sisters because even when he was gone, I was never alone. Like I belong to a mighty village that's
Oh.
multi-layered and multifaceted.
Mm.
Um, and it's been a blessing. Like even before marrying him, how I even became a Muslim was because of my brother. My brother is um his name is now Abdul Rasul, but his name was Brother Fontaine. And he's the general manager of the Final Call. He's right up there in Chicago now. He has the minister's personal number. But his example was what brought me into the mosque. His unwavering faith is what brought me into the mosque. He was the one that gave me my very first Holy Quran before I even committed to walking this way of life. And the first surah that he gave me to read was Surah 29, which is called the Spider. And the verse that he gave me says, do men believe that they'll be left alone on saying, do men think that they'll be left alone on saying that they believe and not be tested and tried?
Hmm.
And like, wow, this is the interesting first introduction of Muslims that you give me. What you trying to tell me, bruh?
Wow.
Like, it was not raised in or anything, but it was the best foundational stone that could have been given to me as a Muslim. My greatest foundational stone that could have been given to me as a married Muslim was on our wedding day when one of my brothers, spiritual brothers, said to us when they were coming down the receiving line, he said, "Welcome to the beautiful struggle." And I was just, me and my husband looked at each other like, what kind of introduction happy wedding day greeting is this? Just
Wow.
beautiful. Like, okay, sir. But it's been 30 years, and that greeting is what I still remember
Mm.
because it's a beautiful struggle. It's beautiful, but you're going to struggle because marriage is about two people striving to become one.
Yeah.
So it's individual personalities with a lot of struggle and give and take and all of that, like just striving to become one. So
Mm-hmm.
you have friends who are people who are friends to your marriage because
Mm.
they're seasons where it's like, I love you, but I don't like you right now. But I love you, barkeep, okay? Be safe on the road. I'm gonna say a prayer for your safety, but I don't like you right now. Like those are real things. But
Mm-hmm.
conquers all. And something that I'm just so proud of is that my children have been able to see the dark side of our marriage, the ebbs and flows,
Mm-hmm.
and the light side of
Mm-hmm.
the. So that's the long answer to it ain't easy.
It ain't
It ain't
easy.
easy, but it's worth it. But
That
it's
is beautiful. That is you guys from 20, you've grown together. You've built together. You've had,
yeah,
you procreated together.
yeah.
This is, you guys are on a journey for life together. Um, Not a lot of us are fortunate to have that. So within the struggle, it's beautiful,
Yeah,
and it's inspiring to from us from the outside, because a lot of times you see things and you don't know what's going on. You just, you hold people in reverence, but people are just people.
people are just people, and once you realize that, Queen, I think it makes life so much better. It
Yes.
makes life so much better because I know for me, fighting that perfectionism thing. and then looking at other people's relationships and wishing that I had what they had, and then doing the mental comparison about everything, you realize some people just present better. That
Hmm.
doesn't they're not
That
going through
means
the same.
they're doing better. They're just presenting better.
Presenting better. It doesn't mean that they're not going through the same things. Like relationships are gonna have their ebbs and flows.
Yeah.
Like life has their ebbs and flows. If we look at nature, like everything in nature is a reflection of everything that we're gonna go through spiritually and emotionally and physically. But like this world just has it so that you throw in the towel immediately. Oh, you looked at me sideways, I quit. Oh, you did this to me, I quit. Like
Mm.
quitting is easy, but it's hard.
It's hard. It's hard.
It's
Wow.
hard.
Hard but beautiful. And then the story that comes from it, and you look back at the growth and the
Mhm.
movements through it. It's a beautiful experience. Like wow. Huh.
Yeah.
That was a. We've been here an hour. It doesn't even feel like it.
It doesn't feel
We
like it
have a
doesn't.
beautiful audience. I don't want to say Mathwina, James Brightful. I don't want it, Mathina. I don't want to say Mathina. Pardon me, Mathina. She said, "Love this excellent conversation, Ashe. We appreciate that." And Fran P is marriages is a beautiful struggle. True. Being queen, you are, and the beauty is you don't see it. Still striving. That's beautiful. That's an affirmation.
Yeah.
Jamie Williams says, "We love you, Trey, but it was and it's such a beautiful thing to see the world love Sister Salima and have the tangible evidence through Mr. Minister Farrakhan. Beautiful. That that's beautiful. Wow. I don't know if I had this many affirmations ever. I'm like, you are definitely, I told you the old adage is saying the best to last. You are definitely closing down the Black Women History Month 2024. Denisha Sykes, welcome. She said amazing.
Hey,
Everyone that's here, this has been an amazing conversation. Sister Tracy, listen, you got to do something. You just got to touch my hand, pray on my head, something.
yeah,
I
you
need
come
your
in
energy.
the same treatment, the love, the talk, because like I love doing hair. But honestly, like outside of doing hair, my favorite thing about doing hair is the people whose hair I get to do.
Yep.
Like the energy exchanges are just so amazing. Like I feel at home here, and they
Mhm.
feel at home. Like they bring me food, they bring me flowers, they give me hugs. Like it's an extension of my family. Like I love being able to talk, and I love how people feel free when they come here. Like it's the no judgment zone, but you will hear some advice,
Yeah.
but it's coming from a loving place, not a judging place. Like and the same when they give it back to me. Like
Hmm.
I know it's coming from a loving place and not a judging place, even if it's something that I don't want to hear at the time, like about my wheat thins.
Fran P. That's Fran P. But
Pretty
what I
much.
will say, Sister Tracy, is, as women and men too, everyone gets their hair done. And
Mhm.
I think it's the exchange. No one does my hair. I go to a barber, of course, but
Yeah,
no one does my hair. But I think, and a bigger thing, the exchange of energy that touches your head and your brain is very important. And
yes,
sometimes we let anybody touch our head or anybody, and I think that's something that I would never tell someone to do. That you need to have a relationship with who touches your head,
yep,
because all of the energy that comes out of your head or your feet,
yep,
that's the human. And so if someone's touching where your energy is coming out, they need to have great energy, because that you absorb that. And so
yep,
please, I think it's so important that your stylist is a beautiful being.
absolutely.
Even though they're talented, if they're toxic, be careful. That's your head.
The same with a client. Like if the client is toxic,
That's
like
it.
we all go through things, but you can tell when somebody is just toxic.
Mm-hmm.
Like my energy will literally just shut down. Like
Wow.
it'll just shut down. So like if I'm in here quiet because I'm a chatterbox. So I call myself a turtle. So if I know I'm on a time clock, like all right, Sister Lima, like you gotta hurry up. Then that means I'll tell them in advance. I know we got to be out of here by this time, so I'm about to be on mute, and I'm gonna just have the music played, okay? But they don't know in advance, and because I talk with my hands, so I'll be talking and all that stuff in my hands, like, and I'm slowing us down because I'm talking, like we're just vibing too much.
Mm-hmm.
But change, and not all money is good money, and not all
Energy
energy.
is an exchange, and it's an important exchange. Be careful about who touches your head.
Yes.
Be careful about that. So your energy, you have, I'm telling you, glow up Black Box Radio. I want to say Ashe and thank you to you. And
That's
to
it.
these people who are in the chat, I want to say thank you to all you guys. This has been one of a beautiful experience. I know this is Ramadan. I don't want to hold you any longer, but I definitely have been inspired here. I'm gonna make some sacrifices. I'm gonna do some. I'm gonna do some things.
You can
These
do it,
next.
Queen. Do
Yeah,
it.
I'm in
You can
South
do
Carolina, guys. I'm not in Baltimore right now. I'm in South Carolina with my mother, but I'm definitely gonna do some things, and I really feel inspired tonight, and I appreciate this talk. I appreciate the people who are here.
it.
Sister Tracy, you a superstar. I,
Uh,
I'm
I'm a
telling
big.
you, you're a superstar. Yeah, you got a light, and thanks for sharing your light.
Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to share my life. Thank you all for joining in and being here and pouring into me today. This has been a great way to end this awesome day of fasting. And thank you, Queen. I really appreciate you. And thank you guys for coming back with all the glitches and all that stuff. But I'm
Yes,
glad we knocked it out.
that's it.
I,
Because I told you, listen, guys. Listen, full disclosure. I've been walking her down for a minute, and I told her that listen, I'm coming for you. And so this was the perfect series to have her at the end of, and she has shut the BlaKWomen History Month 2024. The doors are closed tonight with Sister Tracy. I want to say blessings to you and your ecosystem that I am been exposed to, guys. I wish you would subscribe to our podcast and to what we're doing in Baltimore. We're a Black Center. We love Black people, and we subscribe to no mess, all success. So this ain't no foolishness going on. We're talking about good thing and we're presenting good people. So I appreciate everyone who's here. All of these people, I can't even say the names. Real Idris, Ray Sean, Jamie, Fran
Lord,
P, Chanel X. Oh, it's so many of you guys. Muhammad's. Ah, gosh, I can't say every Monica. I just really appreciate you guys. Listen, everyone have a great night. We are definitely on your dopeness. Is that caller?
no, that's Aisha.
Aisha, on your dopeness. Peace to you, sister. Um, it's been a pleasure. I want to say we boxed up and out. We out of here, guys. Like, share, subscribe. Let's get some deuces, Sister Tracy. We gone, Sister Salima. Good night, guys.
Good night, everybody. Love y'all.
Love
Ramadan
y'all.
Mubarak.
Don't go nowhere, Sister Tracy. Good night, guys.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.